This is the story of two taxi drivers, Celo and Tutsuku. Celo drives the township to Joburg route, and Tutsuku does the local township routes. Taxi drivers need to wake up early in the morning, often as early as 2 a.m. to get themselves ready for the day ahead and to ensure they are first in line for the taxi queue.
Do you know why they're sleeping? They call it a power nap. They wake up very early. They wake up around 1, 2, and they fetch each other to come here. Everybody make sure that I must go there, and they may be early on the line.
I for abagibeli bami baphatha kahle baze bengikhonzele bengiphena amapresenti mako December kanje.
Are you happy with your car?
I'm very happy.
That's number one.
It's number one.
Because taxi drivers are restricted to their route by the taxi associations, passengers generally need to take 2 to 3 taxis to get to work. A local taxi gets them to the taxi rank, another taxi gets them to town, and another local taxi to get them to their place of work.
One way can take you to 50-something rand or 60 rand. From here to town, it's 12 rand 50. And then from town to Pretoria, it's 55 rand.
Many of the taxi owners are self-made businessmen from humble beginnings.
My older brother had taxis down. He was the first man to have taxis down in Msinga, taking the people from the village with the minibus. Started driving taxis for him, and I liked the business, and I came up to Joburg. My first money that I saved, I said, I'll sell the money to buy the taxi. I've got, I'm owning 4 taxis. I've got 2 doing town, Soweto to town, and I've got another 2 doing locally.
I can only do 3 loads to town in the morning. Then there are no more passengers until we need to take them home in the afternoon. I need to do 6 trips a day to meet my target. If I can do an extra trip, I can make a bonus. If I work hard every day, I can make 4,000 rand a month.
Taxi drivers are only allowed to travel the routes that are assigned to their bosses by the association.
From being a driver, you can be promoted and buy the taxi, and you will be given a route. You can't just operate on your own, buy the taxi and just operate on your own. The routes are owned by the associations. The guys are working very long hours. They will be running in the taxi up until 7 o'clock in the evening.
Taxi drivers are always at fault. We get blamed for everything. For instance, if a smelly passenger gets into my taxi, the other passengers will blame me.
The buses and the trains are working with hours. It's going to be from 7 to 8 or whatever, but the taxi you can get anytime. They up and down. It's very important, for the community, to have taxis.
The passenger seated in the front of the taxi is responsible for helping the driver handle and count the money received from the other passengers. Taxi drivers have the added stress of fighting rush hour traffic to make sure people aren't late for work. Passengers often pressurize the drivers to go faster, and as a result, taxi drivers are often seen to be driving badly.
They're getting the pressure from the passengers. Passengers will say, we need to get there at 7. And the driver started driving a yellow lane. Then he ends up disturbing another guys, but not intentionally. It's because of the people that you're traveling with.
We taxi drivers can't win. Passengers tell us to drive fast because they can't be late for work. Then they complain that we're driving badly.
Sinepressure ukuthi abantu mele bephuthume emsebenzini. Kahle kahle angidlela kuyona indlela ukuthi sidrive kanjani ukuthi abantu mele bephuthume emsebenzini zabelungu befike isikhathi sisavuma yingakho sidrive kanje singena siphume emgwaqweni.
Some of the drivers, they are horrible, some of them they are not horrible. But it all depends with how you treat them, because there will be people, they'll be at work, so they'll be working, and If you treat them bad, they will treat you bad in return.
I don't know Taximan. No, I don't know 50 running. Madam, you can't do Kezika, Ikara, and Snake.
Meanwhile, back in the township, Tutsuku is busy looking for local passengers.
It never gets really busy during the day with the local taxis. It's only during the morning and evening that I travel with a full load of passengers.
The local guys, are running the whole day because people are going to the malls. There are people going in and out the taxi. Every time.
I hoot to get people's attention and let them know I'm operating. Without my hooter, I wouldn't get any business.
From 9 up until 2 o'clock, it's quiet. We'll take the taxi to the car wash and maybe sit and relax in another taxi and have a bit of a nap.
After the morning rush, most taxi drivers have nothing to do, so they take a break and spend time with other taxi drivers. Most taxi drivers take pride in keeping their taxis clean and use this time to wash their taxis. The taxi drivers and their passengers spend literally hundreds of thousands of rands at the informal business sector that's around the city taxi rank. The taxi business and the informal sector here go hand in hand.
If there are no taxis, there's no business. When I see taxis, I get excited because they bring us business. We need taxis for our business. I am from KwaZulu-Natal, but now I live in this man's hostel in the township. I miss my wife and kids. I haven't seen them since January. I don't want my children to be taxi drivers like me. I want them to complete their studies and have better jobs than this one.
Thelo lives in a back room. This is his home.
I pay about 1,100 rand a month for my room.
1,001. Oh, tell me,
I work 7 days per week. If I want time off, I have to make it myself or get someone to fill in for me. I would like to own my own taxi one day. Being a taxi driver, it's hard work, but I'm grateful to have a job.
Or maybe invest in something else.
Someday I would like to own my own house. It's every man's dream. I want my children to be able to point and say, that is my home.
It's been a long day, but it's not over yet. Thelo still has to count the money, pay the taxi owner, drop off the taxi, and catch a taxi himself to get home.
Out of the taxi fares, I still have to pay for tires and petrol. If I don't make enough, I have to pay out of my own pocket. I also have to rest and sleep. We are not animals. We have to be very brave and tough to do this job because it's very hard. I am tired. I am only human.